Great, thank you. Thank you, Go Public Schools, and thank you all the people who made this possible, and people in the audience who are wondering why people want to be on the school board. So I'm Gary Yee. I'm currently president of the school board, and this will be the 8th year that I've been on the board. 6 of those years I've been in leadership, either as the vice president or the president. And I want to thank my colleagues on the board for electing me to represent them. One of the really interesting pieces about being on a school board is that you think when you're running for school board that you've got an agenda that you want to put forward, and that's what you basically run on. But what you realize is that it's a collective decision by 7 members of the board. Or when I was on the board, do any of you remember how many members there were? 8 years ago? Anybody know how many members on the board? Whoa, a little education. There were 10 members on the school board, 3 appointed by then Mayor Jerry Brown. And that lasted for about 4 years. And anyways, getting every member of the board to agree, or at least the majority of the board to agree on policy decisions, becomes a real work of a board. It's not just board members alone, but it's board members together. So in the 8 years since I ran till now, I became a senior citizen. I have 3 grandchildren. We got taken over by the state in a $100 million deficit. I became a legal guardian of an 8th grader, and a bunch of other things have probably happened in your lives as well. But for the purpose of preparing for today, what I thought I'd do is I'd take out a sheet of paper that I used 8 years ago when I ran for school board, so you can exactly see what I ran on 8 years ago. So this is a version of it. So 8 years ago, I promised 3 things that I would focus on. 1, prioritizing teachers, high-quality teachers in every classroom, for every child in every school. 2, effective and supported site leadership. 3, public accountability. So those are the 3 things I basically ran on. And I thought that one of the things I would do is I'm proud of laying out to you what I said 8 years ago, and let you decide whether or not you think I fulfilled those obligations, or whether I've moved in that direction, whether I've steered a different direction, whether I've been hypocritical, or whether I've been faithful to that, what I consider my calling. So, hiring, keeping qualified, caring, and committed teachers. That I considered then, and I consider now, the most important job of every school board. Over the last couple of years, I helped establish the Teach Tomorrow for Oakland program that has brought over 50 local residents into the teaching profession. When I ran for school board, I was the chair of the education department at Holy Names. And subsequent to that, I left to become a dean of instruction at Merritt College, and then finally retired a year and a half ago as vice chancellor of instruction. In those days, we were interested in hiring and keeping teachers. Now, I realize that the most important thing is retaining effective teachers. And I want to underscore those 3 words: retaining effective teachers. First of all, it has to be about teaching, it has to be about effective teaching, and it has to be about retaining them. Now, does that mean they all have to be career teachers like myself? I was 20 years in the school district, and retired and left as a principal. My wife was 35 years in the district, left as the principal of Lincoln School, retired. No, I think if we took people, and many of you may be Teach for America teachers, and we extended the tenure of young teachers by, say, 3 to 5 years, we would be able to recoup the investment that we made in those young teachers in the development and preparation of them. So retaining qualified, caring, and committed teachers is what I'm after. Notice I didn't say teachers that generate high test scores. I said qualified, caring, and committed. So that's what I believe. There's a lot of discussion. I don't know if any of you watched the Education Nation last night, Joe Scarborough. Really interesting discussion. They got to talking about effective. Not one of them actually, though, tried to define effective. Some of them talked about test scores. Some of them talked about conditions of employment. I think we can, with our effective teaching task force, begin to identify and define that. I've got 2 other pieces that I'm hoping somebody will ask me. Effective and supported site leadership. You know, there's only been one principal in the 8 years since I took office that's still the principal there now. 1 out of 14 schools. Public accountability, I'm big on data, as if you've ever gone to the Teaching and Learning Committee meeting, and I love data, and I'm interested in the longitudinal work that's coming up now. And I can also watch a clock, so thank you. Hopefully you'll ask me questions about those 3 things.